There's a quality of morning light in London that exists nowhere else. Grey, then for 20 minutes, gold. St. Paul's Dome, Parliament's towers, the Thames beneath you, a city that stood in various forms for 2,000 years, looking for those 20 minutes like it was built to catch this light. London is too large, too layered, too stubbornly itself to summarize in 24 hours. But you can leave with something real. Not the postcard, not the Tower of London Q, but the actual city, the one Londoners live in. Download the free infographic for an overview. The 24-hour London Guide. I'm your TravelShifu, 30 years of travel. London taught me what a city could be. Today, 24 hours of the version that matters. Let's go. 1. Must-see. Walk the South Bank. From Tate Modern to Borough Market, a mile along the river, is the most concentrated cultural walk in any city on earth. Left, the Thames, St. Paul's, and the city skyline. Right, the Globe, Tate Modern's old power station, Bankside's medieval streets. Stop at the middle of the Millennium Bridge, Norman Foster's footbridge, which wobbled so violently on opening day in 2000, it closed for 2 years of re-engineering. Behind you, the Tate's brick chimney. Ahead, St. Paul's Dome above the rooftops. Below, the Tide. Every London film uses this view because nothing improves on it. Then cross to St. Paul's itself. Christopher Wren's masterpiece, built 1675 to 1710 to replace the cathedral lost in the Great Fire, is Britain's largest cathedral and the world's second largest by floor area. Its dome is an engineering trick. 3 nested shells with a hidden brick cone carrying the stone lantern's weight, Wren giving the eye and the structure exactly what each needed. Shifu tip. Walk the South Bank at 7 a.m. Quiet streets, extraordinary light, cafes just opening. Tate Modern opens at 10 a.m. Free, no booking. Surprise story. The dome that whispers. 99 steps above the nave. St. Paul's Whispering Gallery carries a whisper 34 meters around the dome's curve with perfect clarity, an acoustic trick Wren knew about when he built it. Londoners have used it for centuries to say things they couldn't say face to face. It still works for the price of admission. 2. Must-do Borough Market. London's oldest food market, trading on this site since 1014. Thursday to Saturday, it's the finest food market in Europe. Neal's Yard Dairy's cheese caves, Brindisi's charcuterie, Monmouth coffee roasting on site, wild mushrooms from the Cotswolds. Eat as you walk. The Kapital toasted cheese sandwich has drawn a permanent queue for 20 years. Turnips has sold London's best sausage rolls since before they were fashionable. St. John Bread and Wine, 5 minutes east, serves bone marrow and toast at 9 a.m., like it's the obvious breakfast. Then the Tate Modern, not the collection, the Turbine Hall. The old power station's cavernous central space has hosted the museum world's most ambitious commission since 2000. Olafur Eliasson's artificial sun, Ai Weiwei's 100 million porcelain sunflower seeds. Whatever's showing when you visit is worth the detour, and the building, the old Bankside power station, earns the trip alone. Shifu tip. Borough Market. Thursday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday morning is the full show. Arrive by 9 a.m. or after 3 p.m. Avoid noon. 3. Eat breakfast. At Pellicci on Bethnal Green Road. Open since 1900. A protected Art Deco interior, run by the 5th generation of the same family. Full English, bacon, eggs, sausage, beans, toast, tea. The meal that built an empire, in a cafe that still looks like 1953. Lunch, a gastropub. The Eagle on Farringdon Road, opened 1991, was the first. It changed what pub food meant in Britain. The Anchor and Hope in Waterloo is its heir. Awful game, whole roasted meats carved tableside, no bookings, brilliant chaos. Dinner, Maltby Street Market in Bermondsey. Borough Market's grown-up, less crowded sibling under a railway viaduct. Colonel Brewery pours from the arch at the end. Tozino's Jamon. Sushi from the chef who's sliced there since day one. Eat standing, bring cash. Shifu tip. Afternoon tea at Fortnum and Mason on Piccadilly. The 315-year-old grocer with the clock where Mr. Fortnum and Mr. Mason bow on the hour. The Diamond Jubilee Tea Salon is expensive and worth it once. 4. Shop not Oxford Street. That's a retail corridor for tourists. Real London shopping happens in its villages. Marylebone High Street, a village high street improbably set down in the middle of the city, home to Daunt Books, the most beautiful bookshop in London, a 1910 Edwardian building with oak galleries and books arranged by country. Worth the detour alone. Bermondsey Antique Market, Fridays from dawn. Serious dealers arrive with torches before the light gives away the quality. The public follows by 9 a.m. Come early for the atmosphere, later for the better light and conversation. For music, Rough Trade East in Brick Lane, the shop that launched the Smiths, the Strokes, and the White Stripes, and has anchored British independent music for 40 years. Shifu. Tip. Daunt's Marylebone. Original is The One, branches also in Holland Park and Hampstead. Open Monday to Saturday from 9 a.m. Staff recommendations are excellent because they actually read the books. 5. Nightlife. Soho, the square mile between Oxford Street and Shaftesbury Avenue that's been London's bohemian, nocturnal heart for 300 years. Rents have risen, industries have moved east, but Soho at night is still the city's most concentrated social energy. Ronnie Scott's on Frith Street has run since 1959. Jimi Hendrix's last public performance happened here in 1970. Book the main show. But the real magic is the midnight second seating, when musicians who've already played come back to jam with the house band. For something quieter, brilliant corners in Hackney, a listening bar built around a serious hi-fi and an even more serious wine list, the antidote to every loud bar London's built this decade. And for the quintessential London pub night, the French House on Dean Street, where de Gaulle broadcast his Free France message during World War II, and Dylan Thomas once left the only manuscript of Under Milk Wood under his seat. It served only halves, never pints, for 60 years, the old landlord's theory being that pints made people stay too long. Shifu tip. Last orders, 11 p.m. across most of London, isn't the end of the night, just the start of deciding where next. Licensing hours loosened in 2003. Plenty of Soho and East End bars run to 3 a.m. 6. Arts. The British Museum, the world's oldest and largest public museum, founded 1753, free since it opened, holding 8 million objects across 2 million years of history. Norman Foster's Great Court, Europe's largest covered public square, wraps around the old Reading Room where Karl Marx wrote Das Kapital and Virginia Woolf did her research. In your 24 hours, the Elgin Marbles, Room 18. Give them 30 minutes to see what the ancient world made at its most ambitious, 447 BC carving, removed by Lord Elgin in the early 1800s, still flaring at the nostrils and leaning into the wind 2,500 years later. Then Sir John Soane's museum in Lincoln's Inn Fields, one of London's most extraordinary interiors and one of its least visited. Soane left his house to the nation in 1833, on condition nothing be moved. Nothing has. 3 townhouses knotted into mirrored rooms, with Hogarth's Rake's Progress hidden behind folding panels. Free entry. Shifu tip. The National Theatre's lobbies are open to all, free all day, with regular backstage tours. The only way to see a working theater of this scale from the inside. Surprise story. The book written in the museum. Marx spent most of the 1850s and 60s in the reading room, writing Das Kapital in the circular chamber now at the heart of the Great Court. He lived in Soho poverty 2 miles away, but the museum gave him a free ticket and a reserved seat, G7, occupied so consistently, a body-shaped impression was said to form in the leather. The book that shaped the 20th century was researched entirely inside a free public institution. Marx noticed the irony, too. 7. Souvenir. Not fridge magnets or keep calm merchandise. Here's what actually travels. Tea from Fortnum and Mason on Piccadilly, where buyers have selected blends since 1707, Royal Blend, Countess Grey, or Darjeeling First Flush in season. Buy loose leaf, buy the tin. The tin travels, the tea inside is the real souvenir. A book from Daunt's travel section, arranged geographically, something about wherever you're headed next. Receipt still tucked inside. A piece of Neal's Yard Dairy's Montgomery cheddar. Vacuum sealed, made in Somerset by one family since 1911, and, unlike anything sold outside Britain, worth the customs form. Or a bottle of Sipsmith London dry gin. the distillery that restarted London's gin culture in 2009, the city's first new copper pot still in 189 years. Shifu tip. The V&A shop is the finest museum shop anywhere, no ticket required. If you do go in, room 48A, the cast quartz, plaster casts of Trajan's Column, Michelangelo's David, and more, assembled when the originals were out of reach, all free. 8. Stay. Splurge. Claridge's in Mayfair, the Art Deco Grande Dame where the lobby feels like a film running since 1898, worth visiting even without a room. Or the Net in the City, a 1924 bank-turned-hotel with 9 restaurants and a pool in the old vault corridor. Mid-range. The Hoxton, Shoreditch, the hotel that invented London's affordable boutique category and still does it best. Or the Zetter in Clerkenwell, a Victorian warehouse with excellent rooms in one of London's most genuinely interesting neighborhoods. Budget, Generator London in Bloomsbury, central and well-designed. Or Citizen M, small rooms, huge windows, real design at a manageable price. The Bankside branch looks straight at the Tate Modern. Shifu tip. Stay in Shoreditch, Bermondsey, Clerkenwell, or South Bank. The West End is convenient, but turns into office buildings and chains after 7 p.m. London's soul is east of the city and south of the river. 9. Not to do 30 years of London. Here's the list that saves you the most time. Don't queue for the Tower of London. Genuinely worth seeing, but a 2-hour summer queue. Book online, arrive early, or save it for the 3-day guide. Don't take the tube for short hops in central London. Monument to Bank. Same platform complex is a 7-minute surface walk versus 15 underground with stairs and a platform change. Walking is usually just as fast, free, and shows you the city. Don't eat near a major tourist site. Every neighborhood 5 minutes further out has better food at half the price. Don't mistake politeness for coldness. Londoners avoiding eye contact on the tube aren't rude. That's a deep social code around privacy. In a pub, market, or bookshop, they're some of the warmest, most curious people anywhere. And don't try to walk London in a straight line. The city grew organically over 2,000 years, so 2 great things can sit on the same street, while 2 things adjacent on a map can mean a 15-minute walk through nothing. Use Google Maps. Trust the surprises. Shifu tip. Get an Oyster card or tap contactless. The daily cap means you never overpay, and the Hopper fare makes a second bus within the hour free. London Transit is excellent and underused by visitors who default to Ubers. 10. The Shifu map. 24-hour route, 2 banks of the Thames, the old city and the new, the institution and the market, the pub and the jazz club. Dawn, 6:30 a.m. Waterloo Bridge at sunrise, London's finest free view. Walk it slowly. Morning. South Bank walk to Millennium Bridge to St. Paul's, and the Whispering Gallery to East to Borough Market. Midday. Borough Market to Tate Modern's Turbine Hall, to Sir John Soane's Museum to British Museum and the Elgin Marbles. Afternoon. Daunt Books to Fortnum and Mason to V&A Cast Quartz. Evening. Maltby Street Market for dinner to the French House for a half-pint, to Ronnie Scott's Late Show or Brilliant Corners. Late night. Cross any Thames Bridge. The city lit from the water, Parliament, St. Paul's, the Shard, Tower Bridge, is the view that makes the whole day worth it. Every city in this series has given me something different. London gave me the first one, the understanding that a city isn't its monuments or museums, but its argument with itself, ongoing, unresolved, alive, about what it is and who it belongs to. Romans had that argument. Normans, Victorians, every wave of arrivals since, Huguenots, the Windrush generation, the Bangladeshi East End, today's Londoners from everywhere and nowhere at once, have added their voice and changed what the city is. 24 hours won't give you London, but it'll give you the sound of the argument, and that sound stays with you. London always does. To summarize, if London got into you today, hit subscribe. The 3-day guide covers the neighborhoods, Shoreditch, Notting Hill, Hampstead, Greenwich, Brixton. The 5-day guide goes deeper still. Private collections, members' clubs, day trips to the Cotswolds and Cambridge. Follow at TravelShifu on Instagram. And if you find the Whispering Gallery, find someone to whisper to. Say something you mean. The architecture will carry it. Download the free infographic. the 24-hour London guide. If you liked the stories, save and subscribe. I'm your Travel Shifu. See you in the next city.